Paige, we need to talk about the soda that you wrote and see what you came up with here. So your situation was exactly the situation that happened, which was that Paige accidentally hurts Porter, and then he starts to cry, and Paige says, "Oh, you added this part in here, did you?" Paige says, "Quit crying, it doesn't hurt that bad." So that was one of your options, I guess, but you added it into the situation.
Oh well.
So your situation was actually just Paige accidentally hurts Porter and he starts to cry.
Okay.
Okay. So let's think what your options are. Let's go ahead and look at this. So first, you put that you could walk away and not care about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to be bothered with his crying and because you didn't try to hurt him anyway. And so that's why you would pick that, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you said, number 2, that you would show remorse and compassion. So that you would feel sorry, even though it was an accident, right? Okay, that's good. Then your third option was to say something unkind and leave it at that, such as what you put up here, right? Which was, quit crying, it doesn't hurt that bad. I'm glad you're laughing at that now. I mean, you realize that was not the right way. So, then let's talk about the disadvantages. So, disadvantages to number 1. You put... So number 1, that's right, was walk away and not care. And you put that you would earn to do sodas and chores, like negative consequences pretty much, right? So, and then you've got number B here, 1B on disadvantages, that you have mom and dad might not be happy with that, right? Yeah, so that is kind of what happened. We had to have a talk, didn't we, about that? Okay. So, and if you walk away and don't care about Porter when you accidentally hurt him, your third thing that you put was that you'll get called back and have to have a talking to, right? I think you're right. That would probably happen. Okay, so what about if you show remorse, and compassion, then you have that you will feel like you're babying him, and that's a disadvantage. That you don't want to baby another person, right? And so, let's see, if you baby somebody, what does that mean to you? Like, why is that a bad thing?
Well, it's kind of like if I hurt him, then I go, oh, I'm so sorry. Then I feel like, well, he's going to feel like he has to get babied every time he gets a little bump or bruise.
So you feel like that you want him to be tough. And you don't want him to...
Well, yeah, he's 6 years old.
Okay, that's true. He is 6 years old. But is there a line there between showing you care, that you did something for that you did something that hurt somebody else, and then also going too far so that you're coddling or babying a person? Is there kind of a line in between there, maybe? Yeah, because I think it doesn't... But you'll feel like you are. What does that mean? You feel like you're giving somebody attention who's...
Seeking attention.
Seeking negative attention. You don't like that. Okay. All right, your second disadvantage was that you will feel like Porter has the advantage and will cry every time he gets a little bump. So is this that you're worried about Porter?
Kind of.
Yeah? Okay. And then, are you worried about him, or is it just because you don't like to hear him cry every time he gets a bump?
Well,
what would you say?
I don't like to hear him, like, even if he just kind of, hits the counter or whatever, go, oh, Mommy, I got hit by the counter. Okay, so again, you're wanting him to be a little bit more tough. Well,
right?
yeah.
Okay. And then, now this is interesting. So, 3, A, B, and C, you wrote same results as number 1. So, saying something unkind and leaving it at that. Same thing. So you didn't write them all again. You just put that it would be you'd earn extra chores and sodas. Mom and Dad wouldn't be very happy about it. And that you would get called back and have to be talked to. Is that right? I would say that probably is exactly the same disadvantages. There might even be more, though, if you really thought about it. So when you say something unkind, what happens to the feeling that's in our home?
It's not a very good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it even does something even worse than just earning negatives, right? To the whole family. And how we all interact with each other if one person starting to be insensitive or mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could have probably listed things like that as well, I would say. Okay, let's look at the advantages. So in the advantages, you have the advantages for walking away. Because, as you know, even if you make a wrong choice, which you've already said that some things would happen, negative consequences, there's still good things that you feel like happen, otherwise you'd never do them, right? You'd never have made a wrong choice, like saying a mean thing, unless there was a certain reason. Okay, so you put, I wouldn't have to baby Porter. If you walked away, you'd feel like it was out of your hair, is that right? It was gone, didn't have to deal with it. Okay, the second thing is you would have fun, so that you'd be able to just go and have fun doing whatever you wanted to do. Okay. Do you think you'd really be able to have a good time knowing that you just hurt another person?
I don't know. It's kind
Okay.
of iffy.
Iffy, okay. The other advantage is that you would leave Porter crying and feel supreme.
I couldn't find another word.
You would feel supreme over Porter.
Yeah.
Whoa. Do you know what? That is a real feeling that people have and that they have to conquer. This feeling of like, I dominated you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're saying is that if you felt like he was being babyish and you didn't want him to still be babyish and you just left him crying, that you would feel like, you know what? I have all the control here. Is that what you're saying? Like the
Yeah,
power,
kind of, yeah.
the control? Okay. It's interesting to see that as you write that down as an advantage, that you know that's something that you kind of crave sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Or think about, hey, maybe I would like to have this feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look at the advantages of showing remorse and compassion. That you won't have to do negative consequences. That is an advantage for sure. You'll have the opportunity to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing to me, Paige. All of a sudden, you're in the one before, you're saying the advantage is that you're going to feel power over someone, which is very prideful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden in this next one, you're saying, I get the opportunity to feel humble. So you know humility is good, but then the other one, it's like, but I like that feeling, right? Okay, so then for number 3,
It says something.
to say something unkind and leave it at that you
I can see it.
would have to baby Porter, probably.
Yeah, same results.
And and that you would be able to just go have fun and leave him alone. Okay. And that, again, you would feel this sense of power and supremacy over him, right? Wow. Okay. So then your solution. So SODAS stands for situation, options, disadvantages, advantages, solutions. You know that. Your solution then is to pick number 2, show remorse and compassion. And the reason why you chose that, you said, was because you would feel better and you wouldn't have to do chores, and in the end you would be happier. So that you thought with some of these that if you could go do whatever you were doing, or you could feel power, then maybe that would make you feel happy. Otherwise you wouldn't have chosen it, right? In the first time. But now that you're looking at it, from what I'm understanding, you're thinking, actually I'd probably be happier if I showed kindness to him. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you see from doing this?
That I was in the wrong.
Okay, that you were in the wrong. What else?
That it was my fault that he got hurt, and that I didn't really care and thought it was his fault that he was in the way, and that my nail happened to accidentally scratch him, and that he was like just, whatever.
Yeah. So, but the most important thing, I think, that, this whole remorse and compassion thing, accidents happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to happen no matter what. Like, there's going to be accidents all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know ahead of time the best way to handle an accident, then you're going to feel happier in the end for it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So next time an accident happens, what do you think will be the right thing to do?
Just apologize.